What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
I know you guys haven't seen me in a while. I've been pretty busy and I had way too much to drink tonight.
Then false choices like the one the president laid out tonight.
Here last night, yeah, I don't know what day it is. So that's why I'm rocking the flannel out here. But actually, I got a pretty serious topic that I want to tell you guys about. It happened to me a few months ago, and it's kind of an important situation that when you have a concealed carry permit, you want to keep these things in mind. So I'll just start at the beginning. My brother and I went out to see the Star Wars movie.
All wings report in.
Red 10 standing by.
Red 7 standing by.
Red 3 standing by. Red 6 standing by.
Force Awakens when it came out. It was Sunday night. We went out to the theater, and there were roughly about 50 or so people in the theater. And so people were kind of spread out a little bit, but it definitely wasn't an empty theater. And during one of the explosion fight scenes in the movie,
You smell that? Napalm, son. Nothing else in the world smells like that. I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
a gentleman who was sitting near the front of the theater by himself, dressed in all black and everything, with his hood up, went ahead and stood up and walked out slowly outside the exit door at the front of the theater. And it was very unsettling to me. It was very unsettling to everyone in the theater. I looked around and people they stared at him and really focused on him because if you remember the tragedy we had in Aurora, Colorado, very similar circumstances and how this guy was behaving. And it made me very nervous.
I'm nauseous. I'm nauseous.
And I'll just describe to you briefly how this situation went down, how I responded to it. I went ahead and just discreetly, I had a hooded sweatshirt on, I went ahead and uncovered that and exposed my firearm. Now mind you, I'm sitting in a movie theater seat, it's dark, nobody could see that, but I kept my hand back on the armrest so that I could quickly access my weapon if I needed to. And I was very, very unsettled by it, and to be quite honest with you, I was absolutely terrified. This guy, after he walked outside that door, was outside for a few minutes, and the door opened again, he started walking back in the theater, and my heart rate was absolutely through the roof. I was absolutely terrified. Everyone was staring at him in the theater as I looked around. All eyes were on this guy, and so I wasn't the only one who was very unsettled by the situation. And what I could basically see from him is something kind of like a cylindrical object projecting out from his hand a few inches. And I remember thinking, like, this guy has a gun in his hand. He has some kind of a handgun in his hand. And I'm going to have to make a decision here on how I'm going to handle this. And I basically sized up the situation and was looking around at other people that were in front of me. I said, you know, if this person runs this direction, if this person runs this direction, if something happens with this guy, how can I protect myself and the innocent people around me without putting innocent life in danger? And pretty much what went on was he walked to his seat and he sat down, and it really, honestly, it ruined the movie for me. I was absolutely terrified. And as we were leaving the theater, I kind of wanted to get a look at this guy to see what his situation was. He had one of those stupid vapor cigarette things in his hand is what it was. Yeah, and that's something that the guy's completely harmless. I think he did a stupid thing. But pretty much the way I see that situation is I was prepared to protect myself and the innocent people around me if I had to. It was one of those situations where I was just glad that I had my gun with me when I did, and I'm glad that I showed restraint and mentally prepared myself to handle that situation if I had to, because I really thought for sure, just the way he was acting and stuff, he may have been under the influence of something. He was kind of staggering around a little bit and kind of paced around in the theater a little bit too. was there by himself. It was just a weird guy, and it really put me in a situation where I was really scared, and I said, you know, what am I going to do if something bad happens here? And luckily, nothing did happen, and I didn't overreact. I think I responded appropriately to it, and but I actually had to go see the movie again because the second half of the movie was ruined for me, because it was a real scary situation the way that guy was acting, especially having that knowledge of what our country experienced in Aurora a few years back at the I think it was the third Batman movie, where we had that incident. And you know, like I said, it was just a real similar situation the way this guy was acting. Walked out the door a few minutes and came back, and I saw that object in his hand I couldn't identify at the time, and it really just put in perspective for me how important it is to respond appropriately in that situation and be cognizant of the responsibility you've decided to take on yourself when you choose to have a concealed firearm with you. And I'm glad it worked out the way it did, but just maybe a little public service announcement: if you go to a movie theater and you smoke or you vape or you do anything like that, just enjoy the movie and put that off for a little bit later. Don't be walking out the movie theater exit door acting like it's going to be Aurora 2.0. Real scary situation, and like I said, I'm glad it turned out the way it did. You know, the guy, it was harmless, but you know, if you could put yourself in my shoes in that situation, I'm just kind of curious what your guys' opinions would be, how you would react to it. That's pretty much what I got for you. Just wanted to share those thoughts and share that situation with you. Maybe you guys have had some kind of a similar experience that you might want to share with us in the comments section.